It's probing time.
Welcome back, guys, and man, am I happy to finally be able to review a chapter as soon as it comes out. I hope you guys are eager and ready to get into this chapter, so let's get started. So we start with us getting a recap on the past events and getting to see our main character, Hallows, again.
Oh my god! Wow!
We finally have come back to this group after not having them for like half a year. So they are continuing on their way to Spira Mountain, but they get attacked by a Naver robot. But Hallows is able to take care of it surprisingly quickly, with Bastz making sure that the robot couldn't call for backup, and has a funny moment of him explaining what the device is, but none of the humans understand since their tech is nowhere near that level. While they are talking, Hallows senses something and cuts a boulder that had a titan behind it that was going to ambush them, with Bastz quickly seizing the moment to suck up the titan's soul. Pakkya asks how Hallows knew it was hiding, and we get a new power of the Sorcerion humans that magic-sensitive ones can pick up distinct mana and sense it around them. Nukizumi then mentions that the bird that they came on wasn't strong enough to take them all the way, so he sent them back. No! 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 And with Hallows yet again not taking care of himself, so they have to force him to rest. Bastz is able to make a base with the energy of the Titan soul for them to rest, but they still have to go out and get some food. With Hallows still not resting, coming with them to hunt, with his reasoning being, even injured, he is still the strongest in the group. With Pakkya taking major offense to that.
Right, I'll tell you what, you fat little cunt.
They find some mushrooms, but Nuki quickly tells them to leave it alone because they came from the Azure Forest. They are nicknamed Avoida mushrooms, which is, not being that subtle there. But they are basically an invasive species that mind controls animals that are exposed to their spores, causing them to kill anyone nearby, with them then piling up the bodies and killing themselves to propagate the spores even more, with setting them on fire not even being an option since they release spores anyway, infecting whoever set the fire. Luckily, the air current from Spira Mountain will protect it from spores, and Bastz steps up to get rid of these things with his tech so they don't spread. Nuki is of course amazed by this, but Bastz explains that he basically corrupted the soil the mushrooms were a part of, to the point that the soil will never be able to go through the proper circle of life again, explaining that these tools are useful, but they are the natural enemy that humanity created at the end of the day. We time skip a bit to the nighttime, when Hallows and Pakkya are training, with Hallows saying that he is getting used to fighting with one arm, but he needs to get stronger to protect and save everyone. But Pakkya interjects that he shouldn't put that much of a burden on himself, since realistically he can't save everyone, and people are capable of surviving on their own. And this was honestly a sweet moment between them that I really liked. Hallows continues to train, remembering when him and Zabi basically promised to themselves that they would become strong to protect humanity and defeat the demon lords. With us getting an ominous scene of Zabi having his face blacked out, which I will get into later. But then we get a terrifying scene of Galua finding Hallows, saying that Hallows will be coming with him.
It's probing time.
Okay, first the Titans. The one we saw, I'm guessing, was a scout/lookout and was actually kinda smart, since he didn't just go in fist first, and was going to try to drop a boulder on them. The Naver robot probably just happened to come upon the group and it was destroyed and gave Hallows a threat level of 6, which is the same as Kiva. The Avoidashrooms does actually signal to me that humanity would have eventually been wiped out in Gaia's wrath, since Nuki said that his grandmother had to leave her home because of them, and it was terraforming the environment to become a part of the Azure Forest. Which means the forest they lived in would have kept getting smaller and smaller until they were backed into a corner, probably going extinct. Then there is the main event, being Galua, which he could have a couple of reasons why he is here looking for Hollow. So things that he knows about Hollow is that he is a relatively strong human, since he was fighting off a demon army and managed to deflect one of his energy beams. And he was not interested in the demons since they were weak, but Hollow is stronger than Kiva, so may have piqued his interest, since getting info out of humans is probably easier than with demons because of their arrogance and pride. He also may feel that he needs more info because he wants to make up for his failure of letting one of the huge ships get destroyed. Or he may have gotten the partial transmission that Uki sent warning them about the demon lords, so goes to a human hero that was raised to fight them to see if they have any weaknesses. Which I could imagine he would be interested in the hero weapon Hollow has, but he most likely won't be able to wield it, since Madalin's bodies seem to be artificial in nature and probably can't use magic. I am looking forward to seeing how this meeting is going to go. Now on humanity's side of things, Nukizumi has proved his usefulness again in identifying the avoidance rooms, since that would have killed our cast once they got close enough to investigate them. And I am hoping that Chi-Chi the bird will come back to them when it sees the state of the forest. Bastz continues to be an extremely useful character, jamming the communications of the robots and getting rid of the avoidance rooms, with a Titan soul being enough to power a small home structure that can be used by any human with hunger suppressors that either make you ignore the pain of hunger or slow down your metabolism so you can survive longer without eating. And I was just seeing it in this chapter that many of the Curse World structures may be references to the capsules from Dragon Ball, with a commenter on Reddit pointing out that Bastz looks like Akira Toriyama's avatar that he usually uses. So that was an awesome catch, and if any of you haven't, go make sure to check out the Versus Reddit. Everyone has a lot of fun over there. Pakkya had some good moments here, with him reassuring Hollow that he doesn't have to put so much weight on his shoulders and does worry about him when he is injured. And he managed to hold off a Naver robot for a few moments, with it not shooting him, most likely because it felt it did not need to waste the ammo or the power to do so. With him also doing decently in spars with Hollow, winning 6 out of 15 times. With the caveat, of course, being that they are not going deathly serious and Hollow is still injured. But we see Pain comment how he has a lot of stamina, even for a quote-unquote regular human. If him and Hollow did fight seriously, Hollow would low diff him, but he would at least put up somewhat of a fight. With Hollow, like I said before, still having the habit of pushing himself too far and sacrificing his own health to help others, which gets emphasized in his flashback with him being a pure beam of light, but we get a look from Zabi's face of both sadness and hope, as I see it, since he doesn't want the light that Hollow has to go out. And Zabi, seeing the shooting star, may have resolved himself in becoming the greatest mage by any means necessary, and that showed on his face. And Hollow subconsciously did not recognize his brother in that moment, since he always seemed to be a light in the darkness when he actually might be a more balanced personality, but puts on the air of a happy-go-lucky person. And this whole flashback could foreshadow that Zabi is taking a darker path in the future, doing what Hollow is now, constantly looking for power to protect humanity. So I hope you all enjoyed my first current chapter review, because I hope to get it out a day after the chapter comes out on Christmas. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I am happy that the series is still going, and if you haven't, go check out my past reviews for the series, where I go over each chapter, and I plan to make some other videos related to the series as well, and you can check out my update video for the series where I list them all out. So that's about it. I will see you guys later. Bye guys.